river rose without a sound, took my land and spun it round. I watched it swallow what I'd made. My hands, my sweat just washed away. The house I built, the barn out back, the dreams I stacked, washed off the track. With nothing left but mud and bone, I set out searching for my home. But I won't drown, I won't fold, I'll carve a life from rock and cold. With a back of steel and a heart so strong, I'll find my place where I belong. Worn out boots and calloused hands, I crossed the broken, flooded lands. Each town I passed, I'd stop and lend my strength to strangers full of friends. Help raise a roof, clear a field, and nod, a smile, my only yield. And as I worked, I'd leave a part of hope, of sweat, a piece of heart. I won't drown, I won't fold, I'll carve a life from rock and cold. With a back of steel and a heart so strong, I find my place where I belong. An old man with a broken plow, a young girl lost but stronger now. I lift them up and move along, a vagabond with a working song. For every hand that reached for me, I found my purpose, wild and free. Though washed away, I rose again, a wandered man with calloused hands. Through valleys deep and mountains high, beneath an open, endless sky, I found a place where earth was kind, with room to grow, a peace of mind. I built a shack from weathered wood, the soil that felt both rich and good. And in that place I made my stand. The flood was gone, but here I am. I didn't drown, I didn't fold, I carved my life from rock and coal.
Hello, welcome to another episode of PAX Day. I think we're on 48, believe it or not. And of course, I have to check the output. Okay, of my microphone. So yeah, episode 48, we are in the midst of rebuilding. And as the, let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we get into some really cool and engrossing conversation. And of course, I should be the first to comment in our chat. So if you're in the little world. All right, so little housekeeping. The devs are still making changes. I have to skill up some skills on the journal. So in carpentry in particular, because they changed the carpentry a little bit, as you can see on the right hand side, these are the things I can build at level 31, which this journal entry is amazing. Love it. Unfortunately, I have some undiscovered things here. And there's one or two things, if you go down here, that I really want, that I had the ability to build a few days ago, but I don't any longer. And that is, oh, these are all levels. So as you get, I have some undiscovered things that I can discover, so I should be looking for those discoveries, huh? Here's undiscovered. It's a little building. I'm at 31, so 32. The balcony railing, which I already was able to build. The short wood beam, which I was able to build earlier. So a lot of these things at 32 and 33. Geez, how much do they reorganize? Yeah, it looks like I need to be at 33 again. So I have 31. They did create or craft a way around the skilling. So right now I only need 10,000 to get to the next level. But if you notice at another, let's just go with, do I have another one close? Here's tailoring at 25. I need 1.4 million to go up. So they gave us the ability to rise quickly back to where we were. So again, they in development, you find out you want to do something and you just simply can't. So not bothered by it. However, I do need to get that crafting up, and I have to find grapes, or I have to find, I think limestone is out. Is limestone, let's see, yeah. It was, here it is. I do, all right, so I can do limestone. Let's see if I have any limestone. I think in the last episode, I did come across some limestone, but I'm not sure I used it or not. And I don't have the ability to mine granite right now, so it kind of stinks. I think you need a steel pickaxe, and I didn't have the ability to do a steel pickaxe in the other world, so yeah, it's gonna be a while. Where did I put the limestone? I'm gonna be ordering everything, putting order to stuff is another way of putting it. Mm-hmm. I had like hundreds of limestones. Where did I put them? Oh. Oh, I'm not liking this. Where would I have put them? It would have been here. And that was a scary area too. I don't want to go back. These are on Mises. Yeah, not liking this. As I'm doing this, I might as well organize it a little bit. Not liking it. Granite. So if I didn't put it in here, and I didn't put it in these here, maybe I just missed it. Let's look. Not in there. Definitely not in there. Definitely not in there. Where would I put them? I'll just look through everything real quick. I know I didn't put it in there. Might have been tired and I did the old, just put them in here for right now. And I can't find them. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. Maybe I put them over here. I wouldn't have put them, but food. I don't see why I would have done that. Ah, man. How did I lose those things? This is where you go back to your old episode and figure out where you put stuff. Glad I'm recording these things. While I'm here, right? Take care of some other housekeeping stuff. I know it's not. Can I check that? Nope, not there. All right, I'm trying to think of where else I put a chest. And I put one over here? That's gonna suck because I got a lot of good limestone. I don't think I crafted them all, did I? I might have actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. That's all right. Let's go stack some potions. There's my miner Potions, that's 2.7. That's 2.7, okay. Do one of those, and then I don't think I have any. Let's. Oh, I know what I gotta do real quick. Even though the potion's 15. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me clean up some of this because I was forging big time because I need wrought iron, and I did a lot of wrought iron mining over the last couple days. And this is all the glass. And I just went to craft one large glass vial because it gives me something. It's very easy, so I should succeed. There we go. Now I get 5 of them. But I expend them. These are the ones I need for potions, so I'm gonna craft these. There we go. And then I'll put the rest of the glass in here so I can find it. Oh, I have 20. For glass, right? Yeah. So I can craft one more thing. I think the other one is 25, right? Yeah, 25. So I got lucky on that one. We'll craft one more, and then I'll go up, craft some potions, and then we'll go and do stuff. All right. Here we go. Sun's rising. It's going to be a good day. I actually wrote a song in Suno for a good day. All right, we got a little bit of. I need water, I think. Water, definitely. And then. Let's see, that's stamina regeneration of 60. Ooh, fire resistance. Nice. Poison resistance. I didn't know I could do poison resistance. Nice. Let's craft one of those. I hope I can get it. And seriously, at least I got the vial back. What's my... Yeah, I can do that again. Yeah, they crafted, or they made the potions a lot better, in my opinion. Oh, okay, so I need water and vials. I don't have enough vials. Huh. Oh, but these take large vials. Okay, so I need Wolfsbane and water. Okay, here's my water. Here is... Yeah, cool. Wolfsbane. And here's my coal. And then we can construct that Wolfsbane leaf extract. The one thing I don't need, but I need it for just normal potions. All right, well, let's create all of them. It's the glass that I have to go get. That's the... All right, so I'm trying to use G, which is to throw things in here. Oh, I also got to put that steel away, or the iron. All right, once we're ready for this, I'll go get my pickaxe and we'll go get some other stuff. See if anybody else is around. I haven't seen many people around still. First day, of course. Maybe they'll be on a little later. All right. Let's see. Pickaxe for sure. I don't think I need that powerful of an axe, but this is my iron axe, I think. It's my iron. Let me do some investigating here. Axe. I have one of those. Rod iron pickaxe 2. Rod iron pickaxe 2. Oh, I need it. Just the chopping axe. There we go. Iron chopping axe. I have wrought iron chopping axes somewhere. They didn't convert all my... Really? That would upset me. I had a lot of wrought iron chopping axes. Oh, let's do chopping. Because if it's not in chopping, I don't have it. You know what I mean? Yep, I don't have it. Man, that does not make me happy. So that means this is gold. So I'm going to pull off on that. And I'll see what this can chop down, essentially. Which one's this? This is Vitality. There we go. There we go. I'll put that away up there. Then we'll go adventuring and talk. I still got to get skinning, so I'm just going to be just arbitrarily killing animals as I get stuff. What's this? That's poison. I don't need poison resistance. And this is... Oh, I need more biles to actually create the fire resistance. That's actually kind of cool because there's the diseased forests have the poison from the boars and stuff. All right, let's go get some sand. That's what I'm looking for. And as we're now that the housekeeping's over, chime in, guys, on the conversation. We'll start out tonight's conversation because I was thinking today with the stoicism in modern life. Now, what is stoicism? Basically, it's the personal resilience and mental health of people. So let's do this. Just so people understand the conversation, I'll get an academic. Stoicism sounds so, oh my God, stoicism. Oh, man, he's been building, so I might not be able to get my stone. Yeah, it's gone. Man, that means I have to go find it. Yeah, I was hoping it would regenerate, but... That's all right. We'll go. Well, we gotta find stone to get sand. Let's see. All right, so let's go academic here for stoicism. Stoicism is the ancient Greek philosophy that teaches the development of self-control, resilience, and rationality as a means to achieve inner peace and happiness. Stoicism emphasizes the understanding and accepting of the natural order of the world and focusing on what one can control, and while accepting what one cannot control. Wow, that was a. I think there was a prayer that happened, or by a saint, I want to say. But the Stoicism, I don't think it's practiced at all today. By few people. Let me say it that way. Basically, I'm dropping it and everything here. There we go. I'll keep the animal fat because animal fat's an ingredient and I don't have enough of it. Okay. Let's see. So let's talk about Stoicism as it pertains to today. Self-control, resilience, and rationality as it means to be healthy emotionally. Oh my gosh, did you see him? Oh my god. There we go. You got that guy. The smaller the target, the more I can get. So any comments on Stoicism? I have to I would love it to come back as a movement, as a philosophical movement and a trained movement, right? Meaning, I don't think Stoicism, as it's defined by the ancient Greeks, I don't think exists at all, right? Not in today's society. Oh, did you see him move at the last second there? That's all right. All right. Yeah, I would love to say I have Stoicism, but let's see if I meet the criteria. Accepting the natural order of the world. I think so. I think I'm more optimistic, for sure. Did that deer just disappear? Disappearing deer. Again, I don't need all this stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'd like to say Stoicism exists today, but I'm not even sure I have it. Let's say self-control. Yeah, I don't. I'm too impulsive. Can I force myself to do self-control? Yeah, absolutely. But honestly, I mean self-control in so much as my vices, I have no self-control over, right? And I admit that wholly. I mean, if I was a liar, I wouldn't admit that. Today I have too many vices. Now, can I accept the fact I have too many vices? Yes. Do I need to work on it? Yes. Do I need to work on my self-control? Absolutely. For sure. 100%. I think there's one over here. Let's see. So I totally just missed the first the first marker on this one. Let's see if I have the second one. Resilience. 100% I have resilience. I didn't hit him with an arrow first. So I totally just misstepped there. That's alright. Don't need no rock. There we go. What else do we got? I could keep that out, and there's. I'm looking at my shortcut keys, but I have to look over my mic. So resilience, I definitely have. I think nothing can keep me down, and I don't believe anything should be able to keep me down. I just don't believe it. I'm very adamant about getting back up. I don't believe in staying down for long. I don't believe in defeat for long. You might be defeated, for sure, right? Everybody gets defeated. It's really considered a a necessary thing in life. I'm not perfect at everything, right? Oh, I was just too close now. Too quick. I got enemies to the left, enemies to the right. And I'll get rid of these while I'm here. But resilience, I have a ton of resilience. I got like I'm a billionaire in resilience. I have billions of worth of resilience. Like this YouTube channel. I will keep this YouTube channel going as much as I can. And mostly it's therapeutic for me. To be quite honest. I had to waste 2 arrows. But let me see, what else do I have here? All right, so resilience, check. Self-control, nope. Rationality, yeah, absolutely. I have to be. I'm not like rational to the point of not being able to have an imagination for sure, but rationality is a good thing. One thing I could be certainly rational on is the fact that this YouTube channel and this podcast might not make it, right? But I think that's a good thing. It always keeps, and then my resilience kicks, right? And that's the good news about resilience. You know what? I might as well get copper because I don't think I'm gonna find too much more stone. Let's see. So, do I accept the natural order? Now, natural order is something we really got to define, right? What is the natural order of things? That can mean so much to so many different people. So, define natural. Let's get a nice academic definition of natural order. I believe that I believe in the natural order as defined by myself. Let's see. Natural law, harmony and balance, interconnectedness, human role in the natural order. Examples of the natural order. Scientific context. In physics, natural order is seen as predictability phenomenon like planetary orbits, atomic interactions, biological evolution. Philosophical contents is the Stoic. For Stoics, literally, it's defining the natural order includes not the physical laws, but also the moral order where virtue, wisdom, and acceptance of fate lead to a fulfilling life. And the ecological context, which is ecosystems exhibit natural order in which species interact in a balanced way, like predator-prey relationship that maintains population levels. Yeah, I do believe in the natural order. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Natural law is actually drafted in the U.S. Constitution. It's one of the basis for the Constitution. Without natural law, then we can't say that our rights are guaranteed by our Creator, because that's a natural law statement. Let's see if I fall. So yeah, Stoicism. Do we need it? Yeah, we need it. We really do need it. I wrote a song about the Knights of Salomnia, the Order of the Rose, as a matter of fact. If you don't know or not familiar with that, that is a game, or it's a game term for role playing, right? It's a role playing game. How should I say it? It's Dragonlance. Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman wrote the stories, a majority of the stories for the Dragonlance world. But the order was anytime you tried to roleplay at night, right? It it took some even role playing it to role play it effectively and properly. You really had to understand even natural order, stoicism, right? And I wrote a song based off of that and put it through Suno AI. I might share that one because they turned out really well, actually. And the and it really encapsulates us today. And let me be very forthright with that. What I mean by that, mostly, is we really don't have a nightly order anymore. People follow a strict code. Not as a society, right? We have the fringes for sure. There's people. It's a lot of copper on this one. Let me see what people ideals and follow code night. Yeah. Let's see. I'm asking ChatGPT a role-playing question. Um, it gave me some good responses, like Bushido, Samurai, Knights of old, Knights Templar, right? And all these are good. Yes, absolutely. Those are here. Let me give you the list real quick. So it said European Knights, the medieval chivalry, right? The Japanese samurai or the Bushido. Right? Mongol warriors actually had a rigorous code based on loyalty, respect, and hierarchy, and strict military discipline. Knights Templar, Native American warrior societies. That's yeah. I say that with a question because I never thought that they would have code, right? I knew they had tribes and militaristic type of tendencies as you have to have in a group, right? So Lakota, Cheyenne, and Comanche. So many tribes have warrior societies that adhere to codes of honor, bravery, and respect for the natural order. Okay, all right, that's fair. The Order of Hospitallers and other Crusader orders. And that's a today thing? I asked it for today. No, that's a lot. Oh, that no. That this is the back in the day. So basically 11th and 16th centuries, the Toa, Malori warriors, paladins of Europe, and fantasy traditions. So my song is about paladins. Right? Now it's stretching some of these things, man. Let's talk about it. In my opinion, these are really stretched. Can I get down there? Those are the stones I actually need. All right. I think I can actually get down here without too much damage. Or any. I'll need more copper, do I? How much copper do I have? Yeah, I could use 7 more, actually. So it says military and law enforcement personnel. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not. The military, maybe. The U.S. military, maybe. We definitely have tradition, and we definitely have. I was in the military. We definitely have codes of conduct that govern our actions. I would agree with that. But a code like a nightly code, yeah, I'm gonna say no, and no for law enforcement. Absolutely not for law enforcement. In my mind, when we're talking nightly codes, we're talking about not lying, right? And law enforcement can literally lie to entrap you, in my opinion. Hopefully that changes. Hopefully that culture, we get good people in there and they don't lie. You know what I mean? However, in today's world, yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna include law enforcement in this at all. Humanitarian and nonprofit workers. No, I look at them more as priests than I do as nightly orders, right? Uh, Meaning they have compassion, they have a code of ethics for sure. They have, I don't know, providing relief and protection to the vulnerable. They provide relief, yes. Protection, a lot of them are told to stand down in the eyes of slaughter, in the midst of slaughter, right? So I'm going to say no to that as well. So far in today's examples, we do not have a nightly order. Medical professions, nope, definitely not. Do they take a Hippocratic oath? Yeah, but a Hippocratic oath is not an order, right? They're not held accountable to another person in their order. And I'm not going to now. Wait, let me ask this, because I know there's a lot of we can have a discussion formed on this. But medical professions, no, I'm gonna say no, thank you. Let's see. Wow, it thinks it's. I think it's confusing code of conduct with chivalric and protective natures, like firefighters and first responders. First responders are more compassionate. I wouldn't say they are the arbiters of protection. Maybe say, and this is that firefighters and first responders follow a code of values: courage, selflessness, and service. Their mission is to protect life and property, often in life-threatening situation, parallels to a nightly duty of defending the community. Nah, firefighters maybe. I mean, they'll go in, fight for your property. I'll go with that for sure. I wouldn't say they have a code though. Meaning, if one firefighter is misbehaving out in town, they won't kick him out, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Oh, barely got that up. Let him hit me. I'm just looking for the animal fat. I'm glad those Justicars do not do patrols. Because I'm sitting here skinning animals and stuff. Let's see. Environmental activists and conservationists. I think the code of conduct is where ChatGPT is just it's just like, yeah, definitely. That's definitely there. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not what that means. Nightly orders 24/7. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm out. The stoic nature is natural law, right? And with codes of conduct that aren't followed, I'm not gonna ascribe to what ChatGPT is selling here. Environmental activists and conservation. Now, they protect the environment for sure, or try to, right? Let me think about that. That one I could be probably persuaded. That one I could probably be persuaded. The more I think about it, because even outside the quote unquote job, a well, an activist will hold accountable all around them 24/7, right? So I could probably see that. Yeah, I could probably see that. Wow, a nightly order though. Uh, I like to think nightly orders is pious, good people, but environmental activists, I'm not so sure they're as good as they ascribe, right? Because they will damage personal property. Like, so is that really a a nightly order type of thing? Peace Corps and volunteers and international aid workers, I think they're more like doctors, right? A Peace Corps volunteer might have a code of conduct for sure, but if they fall outside of that code of conduct, I don't know. That maybe I'm looking at it too harshly because of the. I'm definitely thinking that the code of conduct they're using or ChatGPT is using is very loosely based stuff here. Wow, how far I have to go for sand? Okay. Oh, they gave this ChatGPT tried to find more examples. I mean, the examples it gave for historical nightly things, I was like, yeah, that's it right there. Maybe we should come up with criteria, really. I mean, you don't have to have authority either. That's one thing I don't think you have to have as a nightly order, but you do have to have rules that once broken, you are no longer a part of that order, right? You're cast out, if you will. Hopefully, there's a redemption arc. I always believe in redemption, by the way. I wholeheartedly believe in redemption. Where am I? I'm all the way over here. Let's keep going the way I'm faced. I'm working on skinning as well, so. Oh, really? I knew it was off there. Oh, and he moved. Glad I have 500 of these things. Let's see. Once I finish this guy off. Done. Drop what I don't need. I do like the drops of the gems and stuff, the periodic drops, so that's nice. Wow, there's a lot of ore around here too. Let's see if they'll come over. There's no way I should have hit that thing. I was waiting for it to hit. It's just paused. All right. Wow. Ethical hackers and cybersecurity professionals. No, I'm not putting them in there. Activists and social justice advocates and teachers and educators. Yeah, a lot of these. It isn't that I don't want to give them the opportunity for knighthood. Well, it's partly that, but the bigger part of that is the fact that there we go. The bigger part of that is they don't have codes. They're not a uniformed group. You know, everybody has the same mission, literally the same mission. They don't have a higher council that dictates the code and where that code is applied fairly, evenly, and justly. You know what I mean? That's somebody. Pendragon, huh? That hat kills me. I'm not making that hat. I don't care. It's aesthetics, my friends. So back to stoicism, because we got sidetracked on that nightly thing. You know what? I need some of these. While I'm at it. Ooh, he's right by a bad forest. That guy just set up right next to it. Let's go find out what this is. We're here to explore, right? So, stoicism. Modern day stoicism. I'd like it to come back. And the reason we went into the knighthood and the codes and stuff is because what vehicle is best to drive cultural change? Groups, societies, right? I would argue those are the best methods of doing it. There's a red thing there, but I guess it's nothing. It's pretty. So, all right, let's end that conversation. If anybody has any comments on stoicism, let me know. As you can see, stoicism's not something I think about a lot, so. But let's end on stoicism, because one of the important factors is things we can't control. We got to accept those, right? Once something is put in motion, or once something is happening, and we can't control it, and there's no way for us to control it, right? Mustard. I got plenty of mustard. Let's see what kind of forest this is. One with stones. It's one of those foggy ones. Let's get rid of that for sure. I need more sand. That's the whole point of this expedition. It would be interesting for the game designers to, if you're making noise in a forest, you attract monsters. That would be kind of cool, actually. I gotta keep my head on a swivel here. Just looking for sand. Don't care about Nisus. Oh. Am I still picking up Nisus? I don't want that. Where's sand? I want the actual sand, yeah. There we go. I'm like waiting to get ambushed here, right? Sand. This gotta be impure iron. In here? Man. Yeah, lots of impure iron right around here. I want that because it's something different. I don't need these seeds. Let's do this. You gotta be prepared to run here too. What is that? That's just part of the forest, but it looks wicked. All right, let's see. So, yeah, if we can't change it, whatever it is, we have to accept it, right? I mean, it's for a spooky forest. You know what? I can. Ooh, too hard for this one. All right, so it might be hardwood. I'm gonna have to make more wrought iron. I thought I saw a creature over here. I want to know what kind it is. There it is. Have I been in this forest before? I think I have. This could be a dire wolf, I think. I don't know how anybody is living here, though. There he is. Yep. I missed him twice. I thought I could get him. Ah. Can't exchange that many blows. I'm hitting 43. I just love that. There we go. There we go. Just there to skin. Don't care about anything else. All right. The Fermi paradox and the recent space discoveries. Ooh. Fermi paradox. Anybody hear of the Fermi paradox? Fermi paradox is basically the paradox that this space is so huge and we haven't found aliens yet. So the question mark is, why haven't we? Right? And that's the big question mark. All right, so I almost have the sand I need. What can I drop? Well, journal. I could go ingredients, leaves. There we go. What is that? What does it do? Now let's keep it. Something new. I can get 2 more sand. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's head out. Spooky forest. I can't believe that guy lives there, though. That's wicked. All right, so the Fermi paradox means space is so there's so much of it, right? And yet we haven't found any indication of aliens. Very interesting, right? To say the least. Do I believe in aliens? Yes, 100%. Have to be. Have they visited Earth? Don't know. We'd have to provide a really good answer of why they would want to, other than to investigate, right? And that might be exploration, right? If we went to another planet, how would we approach the governments of that planet if we'd monitor communications and try to figure it out for sure. And if we figured out the communications, what would we do? Well, more than likely, I'm looking for leaves. There we go. Okay, I got all the leaves I can get. Yeah, 50, 50, 50, and yeah, I don't need the seeds. Yeah, so if you got a good argument for aliens not to exist, and like I said, let's just use numbers. There's 1,000 trillion planets that are habitable in the known universe. I'm gonna say that one more time. 1,000 trillion planets. But that I might be exaggerating that number. How many habitable planets are in the known universe? Boom. So of course we're going to do estimates, right? In the known universe, the observable universe, 10 sextillion habitable planets. That's a lot of zeros. A sextillion. So in the observable the galaxies in the observable universe is like 2 trillion galaxies. 2 trillion galaxies. That's 1,000 million plus 1,000 or times 10. 1,000 million times 10. Think about that. That is crazy amount. Might as well stay on the path at this point. Because I think I'll die if I come off of it. Let's see if I, yeah, it took damage. Yeah, so and that's just the habitability and survivability we know as humans, right? Habitable. We don't know about silicon-based life forms if they could exist. We don't know any other life form that could exist. Think about that. That is crazy, the amount of habitable planets. And in the Milky Way, we have like, that's what I was waiting for. We have approximately 20% that are around sun-like stars. And they're in their Earth-sized planet in the habitable zone. So there's an estimate of 6 billion Earth-like planets in our galaxy alone. In our galaxy alone, I'm going to say that, what is it? 6,000 million 6,000 million habitable Earth-like planets in the Milky Way. The odds of life occurring on another planet are 100%. Maybe not complex life, or even no, complex life. Absolutely, maybe not. Well, the consciousness, that's a different question, isn't it? Honestly, if we're honest with ourselves, that's a lot of the probabilities have to be that, and that's the Fermi paradox. If there's 6,000 million planets, 6 billion planets with a B, 6 billion planets that are Earth-like in our galaxy alone, why haven't we even heard of another alien? Meaning, Earth is, I'm going to say it in a way that's, I don't think controversial, but it's funny. Earth is dirty. We send out all kinds of frequencies, radio waves, uh, anything on the electromagnetic spectrum that could be interpreted by an alien civilization as organized. So, yeah, if another civilization is out there, then obviously it would have to at one point in its evolution, right? It would have to just absolutely exude the electromagnetic frequencies. I know where to get tin. That's a tin deposit. Wow, that's a lot of work. It's funny. I'm just harvesting for animal fat and experience. Wow, all three of them came over. Let me get this. Oh, I see what I did there. That I'm leaving that much on the table. That's all right. I know where to come and get ores. Oh. Thought I could get one out before he could strike me, but I was wrong. There's the Justicar. I like how they place the APD people so you can actually get there quickly. So yeah, what are your thoughts on aliens? And it just makes sense in my opinion that it just makes sense that now the bigger question is, have they visited Earth? That's so hard. And here's the other aspect to this that I don't hear a lot of people. I don't hear a lot of people talk about is the when you're talking about aliens visiting Earth. Yeah, that's one conversation you can have. But what about the other conversation of the universe is billions of years old? We, as a civilization, have been spitting out electromagnetic frequencies in the last 50 years, maybe? Right? So, what am I trying to hit him in the head or something? That time I did actually hit him in the head. Yeah, so if the let me finish the thought as I'm just mowing down the deer, right? If we think about our place in time, we have to think about the fact that we may not be actually in time for aliens. Let me say that again. When you're talking about aliens, they could have lived a billion years ago. We would never know because they would have went silent, right? I didn't think I'd get that rabbit. He is right there. So, let's say their civilization lived even 200,000 years ago. and their signals got to us, they still wouldn't have gotten to us, right? Electromagnetic waveforms might not get to us in 200,000 years, right? If they're more than 200,000 years away, right? I'm exaggerating that one. Let's even say, yeah, no, I'll keep that. I'll keep that. My point being is the overall fact that we haven't seen aliens doesn't mean they didn't exist. It's very interesting how people forget, or even in human terms, Earth's been around, we think, we postulate, let's say 5 billion years. Let's just say that. So you're telling me by the end of the age of dinosaurs, from that point on, humans didn't evolve as quickly as we did? They couldn't think of the things we thought of in a million years after that? Yeah, I disagree. That's where I like the advanced civilization theory, where there's been advanced civilizations on Earth that derived from Earth. For whatever reason, they were eradicated, whether that be a natural disaster or what have you, right? So if you think about the Fermi paradox, it's going back to the Fermi paradox, I don't think it's out of line to say that the Fermi paradox is relevant. It's there. I mean, that's a cooking thing. I thought I had these, right? No, that's a cooking thing. You can tell they're cooking things by the fact that they deliver some type of health or stamina or whatever, but it's more like you can consume them without having to process them. So, what are your thoughts on aliens? I mean, did they exist? Do they exist? Or do they exist so far out in the universe that we don't know that they exist? That are there signals so far out that we wouldn't be able to interpret them anyway, right? And when we do interpret a signal, we have to understand that we actually got a signal, right? That's the other aspect to this that we have to reconcile, right? I'm like talking and doing two things at once in my brain. There we go. But yeah, so Fermi paradox, I don't think it's a paradox. I think there's 100% chance of aliens. Have they visited Earth? Maybe not. But if they did, would they, because it's an alien mind. We got to remember, it's an alien mind we're trying to figure out. What would they think to do? Right? I'm assuming the first thing that they would want to do is reach out to us to find out where we are in our development, right? And after they've determined that we're not far enough in our development or we're too young of a race that they don't want to interact with us, we're just a novelty, even if they could get to us, right? Because when we're talking space travel, right? We have to think in terms of we really have to think in terms of would they interact with us? Would they look at us like, yeah, they're way too young, right? How would they look at us as they're determining whether or not to interact with us? That's a big deal. And we would do the same thing. And I'll bring it up, Star Trek. posited that at one point in time in the Federation, they took to a doctrine of they couldn't get involved for the Prime Directive. Don't get involved with a civilization that's not ready for space travel. Don't disrupt their natural progression, even in the midst of them destroying themselves. Which I thought was pretty bold if you think about it. So when I look at, things like that, I'm looking at different. The Fermi paradox it's not a paradox to me. It's 100%. 100% real. Right, and we say Fermi paradox because people know what we're talking about. That's yeah. So that's the Fermi paradox. I'm gonna drop the mic on that. Well, I shouldn't really say drop the mic. I'm done with giving you my position. So why don't you respond in the comments if you disagree, if you agree, right? I would love to hear your thoughts on this because it's certainly on my mind. And I only bring up things really that are on my mind as a whole. I try not to randomize it too much during a podcast, but yeah, for sure the will is there, right? I'm an open mind, like I said in previous podcasts, right? There's nothing that I wouldn't change my mind on. It would take a lot. Let me just say it that way. It would take a lot for me to change my mind. Heck is this? This is wrought iron. Where am I putting my wrought iron? There. I want to put my wrought iron there. That's where I want to put my wrought iron. And maybe my coal too. There we go. So let me pull everything over so I can get a little bit more organized. That one and that one. I'll go there and there. Because they can be cooked. I'll put everything that can be cooked over there. Don't need those. There we go. That one. That one there. Start cleaning up my mess. Because I started doing this and I was like, I'll just get everything here and I'll deal with the consequences. Yeah, the output consequences. Alright. Alright. Let's see. Do I have I do have some more copper. Maybe I can not enough on that second one. Let me throw that in there too. Let's see if I can't craft another one of these. Yep, cool. I figure if I'm going to do jewelry, I need copper and tin, so I'm going to have to... Tin was like the most common material in this game, in the last game. At least where I lived. My god, copper was everywhere. That's an iron bar that's not... That's used for crafting, that's not a ingot. I guess that'll do here, I guess. But it's definitely not the wrought iron I need to craft into weapons and nails and other stuff like that. There we go. Yeah, I'll be able to find that now. All right. So yeah, definitely comment in the comment section. And if you're live, if I'm live, I don't even know if I have anybody. No views, no live viewers. Not yet. But one day I will get live viewers so massive that I won't be able to handle how many questions come in. Yeah, that would be actually pretty cool. Let's see, where am I going? What am I doing? So let's end the Fermi paradox thing, because I think until I can get some input from somebody, I don't think it's gonna be. Oof, this is a good topic. I wrote this down earlier today. The psychology of social media influence. Psychology. Wow, that's a big one. Ah, I did it. I did it to myself. Edit this. There we go. All right. Let's see. I'll let that cook and judge me a little bit. What am I doing anyway? I need more arrows. I'm going back out. I need more arrows. And can I fix this? No, I can't fix this. That's a wrought iron chopping axe. You know what? I need wrought iron chopping axes. So let's take that. And to make an axe, I need a weaponsmith. But bench. I think I need wrought iron pickaxe. Did they make the wrought iron chop? Man, that's fine. Whatever. Wrought iron axe blades and fine wood stock. Fine wood stock. Fine wood. There we go. 1, 2. Do that. And then we will craft the axe heads. So we go down here. Iron heads, large. I need just the axe heads. Let's do this. I do like the search function. There we go. 2 sheets of iron to craft those. So I need sheets of wrought iron. Done. Okay. Ooh, probably want to get some more of those. Probably 1 more bar. All right. So let's talk about the social impacts of social media. So basically, I got to admit the first things that we have to admit is it's going to be a new science, right? Or the sociology of the mind and the psychology of the mind of the influencer or the YouTuber or anybody that puts themselves out in this new medium: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, YouTube X, whatever your platform is, or if you're multi-platform, Rumble, whatever they are, right? Gosh, as everybody knows, listing off all of those is almost impossible at this point, right? But I forgot I put them over here. The big part of the mental health is you've really got to be healthy to do it, meaning mentally aware. So one of the things that sociologists have dove into is this: what is the environment of social media and why is it the way it is? For example, currently, I'm not looking for anything other than camaraderie, maybe some pushback on my ideas so we can collaborate, talk about them, and perhaps form a better idea or even a coalition to drive good ideas, right? That's my goal. While we're playing a game, while we're watching a good game, and this game is pretty cool, right? So I have ideas for other things just for sheer entertainment, like a music channel. That's going to be entertaining. I think everybody will like would like to do that, right? Oh, I need wrought iron ingots as well to do that. I needed both. Whoops. Whoopsie. How many did I make? 20? So I need at least 20. Oh, what am I doing? See, this is what I mean. My if I had a live chat, they would be like, dude, it's the chest right next to you. And I'd appreciate that. That would be okay. Alright, here's the wrought iron axe blade. Craft all 10 of them. Alright. And I'm trivial, so I'll actually get some. So when we're talking about being an influencer, being on this platform, there's right away you have to have some self-esteem and some self-confidence. Right away. When you put yourself out to millions of people, possibly tens of millions of people, you look at you have to be secure in at least yourself, right? And that's a good thing. I think overall that is a good thing. Now, the message you're providing is going to hit with certain people and certain demographics and all this, business like jargon. As you get negative feedback, you're going to have to understand or have a healthy disposition in order to take that feedback and be like, yeah, it's whatever. You know what I mean? Exactly what you want to say. Yeah, whatever. There we go. This is moderate. Let's see how bad I do. It was easy for me in the last game. At least when I fail, I get 200 experience points. That's not bad. There we go. I need 1,000,000 experience points to go up. That hurts so much. Luckily, I know where to get this iron. Holy crap! If I fail one more time, I'm gonna reset it. Yeah. Oh, right iron here. There we go. Let's see. So moderate, I should get +2. It should be my final. Moderate should be a 50% stake in here. Let's see. So I got 2. So this one could be a failure. So 50%. Ugh, that hurts. Yeah, it actually did 50%. So to get 20, I need 2 of these. And then I need a third one to put them together. Like I said, it's easy to go get the ore, so I'm not really too worried about wrought iron, honestly. So I craft 20 of these. All right, let's see. ChatGPT, how social media impact self-esteem. So, but we just established that you should have a little bit going into it. Otherwise, why would you even attempt it, right? So, comparison culture. Yeah, that's a big thing, right? This used to be not as exaggerated, but there always used to be a comparison culture. Let me say it that way. Am I doing as good as this neighbor? Or am I doing as good as this friend? I'm comparing all the time. I'm not where I should be, right? I'm not in a comfortable position, right? Also, all social comparisons for most likely upward mobility, right? I don't have a Porsche. I don't have a VW, you know? Those are the types of comparisons that we used to make. I don't have a ColecoVision. I don't have an Atari, right? Because they were expensive back then. I don't have a VHS. I'm comparing myself to people who do. It's it wasn't as unhealthy as it is today, because social media you can never escape it until you turn off social media. I hope that makes sense to everybody. If you think about it, how do I only get 15 sheets? That doesn't make sense. That means I only can do 15. Interesting. So when users compare themselves, this is ChatGPT, to highly curated, often idealized portrayals of others, studies show that people who frequently compare themselves report a lower self-esteem and higher levels of anxiety and depression. I mean, yeah. I mean, when you compare yourself to other people all the time, I mean, it makes sense, right? It absolutely makes sense that you would start to feel bad. You would start to feel like you're inadequate or not meeting the expectations of people that you don't even know. One of the things that I've noticed, and this is anecdotal, is when I look at, especially people who travel, the influencers who travel or wear really nice stuff and really nice clothes, and they're dressed to nines, they look good, or even those influencers. And let me pause, because it's not every influencer, right? Let's say there's a fitness influencer. I don't see many fitness influencers telling you you're garbage or telling you that you're fat and out of shape. They approach it with, if you are, let's go through this. Many, not all, but many, I feel, really attempt to provide that atmosphere where they want you to succeed. They want you to start the fitness journey, right? So other influencers, they're not acknowledging, or they're not telling everybody they're losers for not having money or not traveling or anything like that. So in those circumstances, I wouldn't propose or even suggest that they're like that. However, some might be, right? I don't watch them. So the ones that I do watch are usually the ones that get fed into my algorithm, that are like, hey, if you're in this area, we can help, right? If you don't live where you don't want to be. And they kind of give you the tools. And sometimes they're telling you the tools that you already know. But it's good to have somebody that's not in your circle of friends, that has no real ties to you, give you information that you're like, man, I knew that. Why? And then they remind you, and then you go and do it, right? And then you have the ability to go and attempt what they're saying, right? So those influencers, I really have no problem with at all. The influencers that treat you like crap, or are the ones who, and they're usually not the popular ones, just to make sure that everybody understands where we're coming from, right? The influencers that treat people like shit usually aren't popular. There's a funny Monty Python skit where the government would provide services, and these services would be like the what are they? The Ministry of Yelling or something to that effect. It was really funny. They did a great skit on that, and you go in and you'd get yelled at. That was the whole skit. You're being yelled at, and I was like, yeah, that's funny. All right. Wow, not what I was going for. All right, at least I have a decent amount of wrought iron axes. That's the important part, because these are 3 diamond, and the iron are only 2. And the iron can't go through anything, so I don't like them. Nothing I want to go through. Do I have another? Should get another pickaxe, huh? These are wrought iron pickaxes? Yeah. Let's see if I can repair this one. Yeah. What I'm doing is I'm going to go out and go get some more wrought iron. I know where to get them, so it should be. I don't know if I can do anything. Man, my durability on that hung bow. I should probably get my curved longbow out and keep my hung bow until I can actually make one. Let me see what the. If I think I have one. Yeah, cool. I can make these. So what does this look like? 96, 19, 95. Let's go put that one away. I can deal with a reduction in piercing damage for now. That doesn't bother me. All right, what else do I need? Need more arrows. My arrows. There we go. Here we go. All right. What else do I need? I'll take an axe, just in case. An opportunity axing. There we go. And I actually want to... I'll go this way. Is anybody near me? Nah. Okay, let's see. So far we've gone over some social media, the upward comparison or the comparison culture. And I think we'd all agree that doesn't exist. But one thing I do want to put into this formulation, this equation that we're coming up with, and I want to make sure everybody is kind of on the same page as me, is the fact that most social media users are young, right? So they're just now developing their self-esteem. And where we are today, especially in finding jobs, education, we're at a crossroads of determining ourself. Even as you get older, you're still in that determination, right? You're like, well, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How much money am I going to make? Is that going to be socially acceptable, right? And overall, boy, I took the wrong way. Overall, we don't think about any of the actual. Well, I shouldn't say that. We're not paying attention to ourselves enough that when we look at social media, we compare ourselves, right? So I think at a young age, if you're on social media, I would think as a parent, you would want to curb your youngsters' interaction with an algorithm. Curate it if you're going to be at least foster curate it for that for your child, right? So be attentive, what they're looking at. And like I said, well, no, I haven't said this yet. I think social media, not necessarily social media in and of itself, but like YouTube, you have free learning programs, lectures. And I wouldn't want to take that away from kids, because you could learn math, you can learn science, you can learn chemistry, you can learn all kinds of stuff just from YouTube. And I think that's powerful. That's very powerful. But as what our chosen topic is, it can be destructive if they go down a certain path. So ultimately, we want to ensure that our kids are in such a state that we don't have to their minds develop properly, right? There we go. Let's grab some of this. Let's see. What is it? Social media, the impact, feedback loops. Oh, feedback loops is talked about a lot in today's society, right? Especially, we call them echo chambers, right? And that's why I started one of these channels, right? What I want is people to challenge me, like, right? If they don't agree with me or have additional information for me to consider, I want that. That is one of the reasons. Some people, when their algorithm gets curated, they keep hearing the same things over and over and over again, and they agree with them. And they get more agreement, and it feeds back. It's a feedback. You are going to, the psychology is such, and I don't know if they, it's a validation mechanism. If you, and that's ChatGPT's words, but it makes sense, right? I'm validating my point of view, and you're saying yes. A total stranger who's agreeing with me and saying yes, absolutely, you're 100% right. There's nothing wrong with your thought. There's no critical thinking necessary. You have reached the end of the road, and you have a perfectly molded idea and or concept or moral or ethic. So be careful. There are spiritual leaders on YouTube, and this is another thing that I'm highlighting YouTube, but Rumble's a great source as well. I advise you not to look so much at your feed as to go search for the topic, right? So feedback loops are a definite hit to your self-esteem too, as that could hit your self-esteem and other things, right? Because you're looking for social approval, feedback, social acceptance, right? There are people that take anonymity to the nth degree and think that they can. Well, they don't think they can. They berate the person or the people that they find the channel on and just completely tear them down. And in doing so, the person will see these comments and be like, "Oh man, I'm a bad person," or I can't please everybody. And newsflash, you can't please everybody. Wow, I didn't even think I was out of stamina. Let's try this. I like that. Filters and photo editing. Oh, basically, and this is going to be exacerbated by AI. As you can tell, I have chosen not to show my face, not because of anything other than just nobody needs to see me, right? At some point, I might decide that showing my face might be a good thing, right? People might want to see me. That's fine. Right now, I'm more no. I don't need to see my face. But if I use filters and photo editing and AI to craft this image, this imaginary image of the perfect somebody, right? That is where we can go very, very wrong. And we do go very wrong. It goes back to the first thing we talked about, comparison culture. I'm comparing myself to looks and body, social status of somebody else. I do not know what that sound is. It's scary as hell. That is a cool tree, by the way. Can you hear that in the distance? Sounds like a deer. Sounds like deers and wolves just. Yeah, anyway. At any rate. So yeah, filters and photo editing, that's a big deal. Some people choose to use avatars. And notice, and I was very particular in my word choice there. It is not that they hide behind avatars. They choose to use different avatars. And that's okay. I love how they put the little coughing with the Justicars. That's cute. Love it. Love the detail. Look at this. I'm going to be really close to them. Let's see if I can stake this iron ore. I can take them even with this armor. Let's see. So that's social media impact self-esteem. Those are the three things: feedback loops, comparison culture, and filters and photo editing. Makes sense. That totally makes sense to me. That's a bear. And I'm going to check my vocals really quick because I don't believe in my setup anymore. It's very hard to believe in your setup when you look at your video and it's all messed up. All your vocals are like are garbled or something. To me, right now, I think we're okay. When I have to worry about that bear is when his name comes up and I'm not aiming a weapon at him. I think I can take a bear, depending on the potions that I consume. Let's see. I might try that next time we maybe tomorrow night. Maybe tomorrow night I'll do that. All right. So let's talk about recent studies. That'll be fun. Yeah, this place is like guarded by bears. In the other world, there wasn't an iron ore mine like this that I found. Not for iron ore. For Emphr, definitely. But it wasn't guarded by anything really tough. Maybe a fox. Alright, so a 2021 study by the American Psychological Association found that teens who spent more than 3 hours a day on social media, 3 hours a day, were twice as likely to report mental health issues, particularly low self-esteem, compared to those who used it less frequency. Less frequently. Okay, I'd have to look up the study, and we'll go into this more tomorrow. I think I'll start out with the studies, how to interpret them. Like I said, I was taking my education went up to doctorate, and I was actually writing a dissertation, which is basically a hypothesis-driven theory that I needed to prove. It's a study. And there's different types of studies that yield different types of marks or information, I should say. I know there's a bear somewhere here, so let's see if I can avoid him. It's like the bears who guard the ore. I think he's down there, but he was close to the other side. Like I was like well above the bottom floor of this thing. And is anybody near me? No. I love the I love this story because we can craft a role-playing story, right? The mine was abandoned because the bar's infestation and the Justicars set up camp nearby and leave the miners alone. There he is. I'm just looking around to see. Yeah, I can't get to this. Alright, so I'm done in this valley. I'll run by this bear. Yeah, I'm well past him, so I'm not worried about him catching up. Yeah, I should test out my ability to fight him tomorrow. All right, let's. So those are the studies that ChatGPT brought up, but Oh, there's research in computer behavior in 2020 found that the social comparison orientation, the tendency to compare oneself to others, right? Thanks for expanding that. That's one thing I like and I don't like. Some things I need explained to, and some things, no, thank you. I'd like to pretend that I listened in school for a little bit. Anyway, that's another topic. Increase the negative impact of social media on self-esteem, especially for users exposed to a high volume of idealized content. I would love for them to tell me what they mean by idealized. How did they define idealized content? Please tell me that. There has to be bias. Otherwise, how can you label something idealized? Unless the definition's so strict that even the idealized content that you are looking at is good for you, meaning you have bias for and against that idealized content. But yeah, I'm gonna see. This is what I mean by studies. We should talk about that tomorrow night because studies are so important. Where am I going? I know I have to stay to the room. What's neat? I didn't think I'd climb that, but I did. Nice. These trees, I still want them to give us something to do with that fur. Silver fur. Ooh. I'm here for ore. I'm not here for red poppy. Let's see. All right. Community formation on social media. That's a big one. It's like the town square or school, right? When we did it before the internet, we went different places. You might have heard many Gen Xers went to the mall. That was our social or community area that we would frequent. We frequented it a lot. That is not the ore I'm looking for. My ore is over here, near a bear. So, yeah, positive impacts. So they actually start out with positive impacts because of a, and they should. I mean, it's a community thing, right? Community is good. COVID showed us that community, being with lack of thereof, community really took a toll on a lot of our psyche, right? Because we couldn't go anywhere, we were stuck. If we did go everywhere, we were socially excluded from those things. Wow. Oh, I crossed the I gotta stop that rubber band effect. That is so annoying. I know it's somewhere around here. Because that bear should be somewhere around there. Alright, let's continue down here. It should come into view. Unless somebody was around. Let's check. Nobody that I can see. There it is. Okay. Just took a minute to load. All right. Let's see. Positive impact. Support networks. Yeah. Absolutely. We just talked about the feedback loops, right? Support networks. So this is the positive feedback loop. Collective identity. That's a feedback loop. ChatGPT is killing me. They're positive impacts, yet they have negative connotations. They have to have negative connotations. Does everything have a negative connotation? Absolutely not. And that's, I think, a testament to how ChatGPT is interpreting the question. Support networks are absolutely crucial, but they could be feedback. Let's see if they isolated individuals. ChatGPT is really not good at describing things in an academic way. collective identity. Users of collective and shared values or causes, right? And that's one of the things about all social media, right? So, community formation on social media. The game, this MMO, is a community formation on social media. We have a common goal. We have a common idea of the game. In this case, it's a role-playing server, right? Then we have echo chambers, or negative, or feedback loops. Let me jump down. Echo chambers and social isolation. Well, I think they're talking about social isolation as so they're saying that the social isolation is the experience less in-person interaction, leading to a sense of loneliness and disconnected from real-world communities. I'm not so sure, but they say they connect the study to it. Like I said, we really gotta take a look at the study, and I'll tell you how to critically think through a study and break it down. Because you can do this with any study. You don't have to know the you don't have to be an expert in the subject matter. For example, if I read a study about biology, I would be able to pick apart at least the components of the study to ensure that the researcher was doing the study in good faith, right? Meaning, were they checking what should be checked? Are they eliminating biases? What sources are they taking their information from? All this is good information to have, right? Let's see what else is there. Stanford University had a study, a media lab, noted that while social media promotes connection, the quality of interactions is often superficial, leading to increased loneliness and decreased sense of belonging. Again, take the studies as a grain of salt. Let's dive into the promotes connection. The quality of interactions is often superficial. What do they mean by superficial? So we know what a superficial claim would be if you and I were talking, together in a room. We would immediately identify a superficial interaction, and actually, most of us would be like offended by it. We'd be like, "Why are you talking to me like that?" It's absolutely insane. But when depending if you're talking to somebody or you're typing something, and that's where I'm going to go with the social interaction that did the study go into. Did the person know how to read English or read the language being communicated to them? Because that's a big deal. Because red pockets everywhere, cabbages everywhere too. But that's a big deal. Sarcasm is not translated through a text. It just isn't. And it won't ever be. Unless you put it in brackets and say sarcasm. Yeah. That's social interactions are limited by the ability of somebody to interpret or comprehend the reading the text. And on the other hand, it is up to the person actually writing to communicate their ideas in a efficient manner, right? That's another aspect to this that has to be noted. Let's see if I can get them. Really got that up there. Oh, I could have went for. I just want the animal hide. I don't want anything else. Animal fat? Yeah, I'll take it out. No, that wood fiber. Do I want it? I need 40. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll have 6. Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, not that one. I'll take that one, and I'll take that. And then I'll grab this guy too. He hits hard. Yeah, that was a good trade for that last blow. And we'll take that off. Keep the fiber. Take that. All right. So I got the dangers away from my rocks. There we go. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else is going on with social media. How social media shapes social perceptions. Normalization of certain behaviors. Yeah, it does that. Unfortunately, it does that. We sometimes see an influencer or, you know, whatever, a person start out a show and progressively get more and more risque because either A, they're not getting the views, or B, they're getting the views and they have to maintain the views. So their absurdity or their social interactions become more absurd or more out of the norm, which creates in and of itself an acceptance into the norm, right? So that's a big deal to me. I think, like, I'm trying to keep my channel. I want to keep it entertaining, and I want to have this back and forth and this dialogue. Play the game, learn about the game. Maybe if anybody does join the game, let me know what your character name is, and we can join up. And I'll show my seed when we talk tomorrow. I'll boot up the game so you see what server I'm on. But I think the overall, my attempt on this channel is just to keep it social, right? Not to be absurd or over the top or even more over the top. I want it entertaining. One of the channels I have in mind is going to be an Elite Dangerous, and I'm thinking, what can I do to kind of make it more fun than this channel? This channel is more of a discussion channel, right? I want to have these weird discussions, these awesome discussions, back and forth that really I can explain critical thinking, social interactions, and really drive cultural change. On the other hand, on the other station, I just want it more like a serial, right? I have this idea. It's going to be Elite Dangerous, but it's going to be on the vein of me being in character the entire time. I'm not going to break character for the time I play the game, and I'll be playing in the game in character and having the dialogue with NPCs and having dialogue of thoughts to myself, my character's self. So I think it'd be interesting because I can get a little wacky, right? Because it's a space age game. It's in the future. We can have some fun with it. We can joke around, etc., etc. Like the normalization of certain behaviors, it concerns me because certain behaviors we don't want normalized. We just don't want. We don't want. For example, hitting somebody just because out in the middle of nowhere, right? I'm going down the street and I hit someone. Why? Why'd you hit him? But you're normalizing the behavior. You got like 5 million hits, right? You got 5 million views on that hit. So at that point, are you are you normalizing the behavior to a point where it's really absurd, right? And normalization of that type of behavior should, I'm not saying it shouldn't be allowed, but it should be socially unacceptable. Meaning that channel should be like, yeah, that was my last time I'm viewing the channel. If you need to do something totally out of the norm, it's not entertaining, or it might have been entertaining for the views, right? And then we're creating a social normalization that shouldn't occur, right? And I don't, I believe in my heart that the responsible people on that are doing, is that a bear? That's a bear. Can't take a bear. What do they just drink? I don't know. But now I can't drink anything. Let's see if I can get this, and I'll be on my way. Let's see. Influencer culture and consumerism. Influencers drive trends, promote consumer products, shaping how users view success, luxury, and happiness. This consumerism focus can skew societal values toward materialism and appearance-based success. Now, you can do it responsibly. I'm not here to, certainly not here to treat everybody like a child. If somebody is promoting consumerism, okay, you as a viewer have to understand what consumerism means to you. Are you all in? You're like, yeah, I love consumerism. Go consumerism. Or are you like, oh, it's an influencer, they're trying to get me to buy something, I'm not really interested. But it's entertaining how they're approaching it, right? So yeah, I'm kind of materialism. I mean, how bad are we talking about? You know what I mean? It goes back to keep up with the Joneses. The first things we were talking about. Is it a keep up culture? You know, I got to keep up with that. Therefore, I need to be more materialistic than that person. Again, we go back to when are we going to start treating grown-ups like grown-ups? Right? Meaning, if somebody's selling you something, doesn't mean you have to buy it. Right? But is there a danger for young minds? Yeah, I suppose there is. And we should mitigate it culturally. For sure, culturally. Because any other way is not it's authoritarian. And I don't think we should be entertaining, like taking somebody off or not allowing materialism on a platform, whatever. What we want to do is we want to change the cultures so those type of videos maybe don't get as many views, so people won't generate that kind of content. I think that is more I think that is more impactful, right? But please disagree or tell me or feed upon your experiences with this, because it's an interesting topic to say the least. But I truly don't believe that we should be worried about consumerism. Consumerism to a point is good, right? Let's start with this. In the United States, most of the world, we're at a point in human history. Think about this. I really want you to think. We're at a point in human history where we can actually get access. I'll say that again. We're at a point in human history where we're just not scraping by. Right? I mean, would given 200 years ago or so, even early 1900s, you still had to make stuff. You still had to go and get the food unless you were at a city, you were pretty much a farmer, right? Ooh, I can't believe I got that defense up in time. Ooh. I guess I was a little late on that. That's fine. Oh, cool. It just took what I wanted. Oh, I'm almost out of room. Huh? That's fine. That's fine. We're okay. Is there more over here? I don't know where the next one is. I might as well take that guy out. That sucked. What's going on? Getting my butt kicked by a boar. Was I off by like a key or something? Anyway, we'll have to hit that one to get more health. There we go. And I just need one more rock that I can smash. Yeah, so overall, we are in a good position. So what over there? Let's go over there and see. There's one over here. All right, cool. Crack this one open. I think this is the last one. All right, let's see. What else? Political and social beliefs. Platforms allow for quick, widespread dissemination of information which can sway public opinion on social, political, and cultural issues. Can't believe he caught me. Now I gotta see if I was successful. Yeah, let's go back home. All right. Yeah, it does shape your, but we're going back to critical thinking. We're going back to the base that I'm trying to really instill with listeners of this channel. It doesn't matter what you listen to, so long as you listen and you critically think through it. The information isn't 100% anywhere. You should do your own research, and you should have the time to do your own research. That's another thing that a lot of people are missing. People say, well, I don't have the time. Well, they don't have an opinion on it, or have an uninformed opinion. But tell people when you're conveying your thoughts that it's not as informed as you'd like it to be. So take it for a grain of salt. Again, we're crafting a society or culture that can talk to each other, right? There's no absolutes. Nobody's absolutely right and nobody's absolutely wrong. It just doesn't work that way. Thank you and have a nice day. And it shouldn't. Fear of missing out. Constant fear, constant exposure to other people's highlight reels. You feel you're missing out on a better, more enjoyable life. Yeah, and that's I like the way it wrote this. What you see on social media is a highlight reel. It is a snippet into, or a snapshot into, that person's life. Even when we're talking, We are been talking for about 2 hours now, and I should end the stream. But we'll finish out this topic, and then we'll end the stream. But ultimately, this is a snapshot into my thoughts. Is it the formation of the complete thought, or am I thinking of questions right now as I'm talking? You betcha. It is not 100%. And I'm not here at all to pretend that I know everything, nor would I want to run a channel where I'm not learning. So this is partly me learning, going through, talking about it, developing a little bit of the thought. And sometimes, as you have seen in the past or heard in the past, I completely revise my thoughts because, yeah, they just don't even match up when I'm saying them. I'm like, wait, hold on, let me scrap that. Desensitization. This one's a big one for me, and the reason that is a big one for me is because there's certain things on my Twitter feed or my X feed, like the people dying, like moment of death, whether they're getting shot. Well, most of his feed's getting shot, and I don't want to click on it, but that's the moment when somebody dies. I don't care what the situation is. That's the moment of somebody's death. Whether they're right, wrong, doesn't matter to me. It's like, I don't want to see this. You can report on it, for sure. But the report is going to be in text. And you're going to give me a little bit of context, more than like an X feed. I'm not saying we should ban them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I just don't like to see it. So I think as a society, as a culture, we should be less inclined to post things that show death or violence. When you become desensitized to something, it's just what the word means. You're not sensitive to it, right? You basically become numb to it. One of the things that I can point to is if you become desensitized to something, it becomes socially accepted, right? It doesn't affect you. I mean, I remember the first time when I was younger, the first time I was introduced to death, right? And it wasn't a family pet or anything. It wasn't a somebody in the family, but that was next, right? It was the death of an animal, and I felt really bad. And of course, my mom and my dad comforted me and told me about life, the cycle of life, and why things die. And they did the. I thought they did great in explaining it. Didn't make the sadness go away. My innocence went away a little, right? And each time death occurred in my family, and even to this day, a little bit more. I get a little bit more and more desensitized. Now, if it's not somebody I know, I'm even more desensitized to it. I still feel the pain though, because it's life. And if one thing that I can communicate with this channel is life is sacrosanct. There is more to this world that we have to do. I do believe, and we'll get into more of the consciousness of the universe and why we're here and how we play in this realm, right? I hate running like that. So desensitization. God. Inducing emotional response to significant issues and affecting empathy levels. Yep. We see it. We see it when we see a video of somebody punching somebody else and nobody going to break up the fight. And I think partly that's because they think they're going to get in trouble as well. I truly believe that part of the problem is the laws surrounding said non-intervention. right? So keep that in mind as well as we move down this path of desensitization. And I really want the culture to change and understand that violence in any form will desensitize you to that form of violence. It makes sense, right? Let me see what I got. I need to go to the jewelry area. But yeah, overall, yeah, let's stop the desensitization in social media. And the one way I would ask you to contribute to that is either scroll past or put in, thumbs down on things of that nature, right? It'll be that'll be the first step. If everybody downvotes it, then people won't be able to actually um, do anything with it, right? Meaning they won't be able to monetize it, and ultimately that's what that's what it boils down to, right? That's gonna take me a while. And what do I get now? What is this? Oh, really? I brought that back? I didn't want to bring that back. Could have had 20 more. Or, wood fiber is over here. Wool fiber. Wool fiber. And then cooking. All right. Parkour. All right. Now everything else is in the. I'm gonna have to get some coal as well if I want to get more of the. I want to burn more of this. Let's see how much I can do. Because I had to make a few axes, right? Can I get 4? Okay, that's fine. Or 3, sorry. So let's put everything back in here. And let's hold off on the next thing that I want to do in game and finish off our conversation real quick. And we'll do that looking at this lovely sunset. Let's go to the top floor of my building that I will finish once I get my carpentry skill up. There we go. Where are we? There we go. That's pretty awesome, right? That's actually worth it. Worthy of a picture. So we picked it. All right, that's desensitization. Oh, that was the last one. So mental health and social media. Top priority. Absolutely. 100%. Do we ban social media? Absolutely not. 100%. I'm not for that. I think any tool that is used can be used incorrectly. And we have to not throw away the tool, but craft a way for people to use the tool properly. The internet is amazing, guys. It's the accumulation of all human knowledge. I mean, at least 80% of it. And even libraries back in the day when you went to a library didn't have that much information. Not even close. And getting or accessing the information is almost impossible to do in a lifetime. Like you went to a library, it would take a decent sized library. Let's just take like the Philly City Library. That thing is immense. It would take you a lifetime to go through all the books, all the subjects, even the ones you didn't want to do, weren't interested in. So keep that in mind as we're going through this journey we call life. Again, this channel is about culture. It's about critical thinking. It's about making those decisions that really answer the questions or provide tools and just to bounce ideas back and forth. We might come up with a great idea. So one thing I do want to bring up is, and I think I brought this up earlier, but it's worth noting. Socrates came out with, or Socrates came out with the 3 tests, and I think if you apply these to social media, it would die. Because just listen. The first test to anything that you want to say should be the question, is it true? If it's not true, you don't say anything. If it is true, you go to the second question. Is it good or kind? I'll say it again. Is it good or kind? So what we're doing is we're sharing the information that will have a positive or kind impact. So if you think in any capacity that the information may cause harm, it's false. It's negative. Is it useful? Socrates, he valued knowledge and contributes to growth and understanding, right? Is it useful? Does the sharing of information benefit the listener or the conversation? A great example of this is, let's go, infidelity, right? In the town, the Scarlet Letter. Not that was a different circumstance. But let's say you knew somebody had an infidel. First, is it true? Yes. The answer is yes. You know they did. Is it good or kind? So would this harm somebody if you provided this information? Yes. Yes, it would. It would harm the person who would be receiving this information, that the person is being unfaithful. Some of you would say, well, that's not my fault. She or he has to know that the infidelity has occurred. Has to, because I'm the moral arbiter of this truth. See where I'm going with this? Let's say you are the moral arbiter. You say, yeah. Yeah, it's kind because of, I'm going to meander through my explanation. This is kind, even though it hurts somebody. Is it useful? Would sharing the information benefit the listener or the conversation? Would it benefit? Very key word there, benefit. Would knowing that somebody cheated on somebody and telling that partner of this somebody who's cheating benefit? That's a hard moral question, but it comes down to, if you're not talking to the person that the offense is being perpetrated on. Let's take it from a different. Let's say you and I are talking, and our friend was cheating with somebody else. Is it true? Yes. Is it good or kind for me to tell you? Remember, you're not involved in this. Well, no. The answer is no. So I don't even have to go to, is it useful to forward the conversation? And you probably have put together by now why this would not be a good idea for social media. But I think the culture needs to shift. So we'll talk a little bit about this tomorrow, along with studies as well. And I think communication is a great topic for tomorrow, because communication, the way we communicate, how we communicate, what we communicate. And I'm not going to use those terms, misinformation. Misinformation is just a lie. That's what it is. But we'll talk about it. Maybe you can convince me otherwise. But until then, I will leave you with a Suno AI outro, which I thought was pretty good. Also, I want to do some housekeeping here. I will be starting, once I figure out how to make a music video for the music that I have produced with Suno AI in conjunction with Suno AI. I'd like to put that out there as well. but the channel should start. I'll make a formal announcement, but I want everybody to know I am working on that. I'm also working on a couple other channel ideas, meaning the Elite Dangerous channel idea and also the possibly the EVE Online. Throne and Liberty, I've given up on. I love the idea of a channel, but to actually play the game right, I'll be concentrating on how to fight. Fighting's like majority of the game, like 90%, because you have to level and then you have to go into clan or into guilds and stuff like that. So, with all that said, housekeeping is over, and if you've made it to the end, I really appreciate you. Please subscribe, hit the like button, comment if you want to, if you have a few thoughts of anything we've discussed over the course of the podcast, or if you have some game tips in PAX Day. Remember, I want to keep everybody in the loop. This is an early access game; it's not finished. So when we're doing stuff as an unpolished, not versioned game, meaning it's not a version 1 yet. It's not released. So keep that in mind as you're watching. If you're saying, PAX Day is not good for me. And I'm only playing one aspect to this. The other aspect is clans. And with clans, I'm sure I'm going to have to get on Discord, so I won't be able to stream with, as I'm doing my clans. My clan conversations, my clan missions. What I will probably do is record the session so I can highlight some of the combats with groups of players and how the groups or the parties are approaching certain aspects of the game, which I think is going to be cool as well. But that'll be like a PAX Day special edition or something like that. But the two channels I'm definitely thinking about is the Elite Dangerous, because they're coming out with a expansion. I think it's time to revisit Elite Dangerous, and PAX Day will always be here. Emphr will try to continue his journey up until 1.0, and then once 1.0 hits, we have a new world, we have new rules, we have everything should be flushed out by then. We're gonna play awesome. It's going to be a very beginning stuff, so you'll get all the ins and outs of character development, choosing where to put your land. Like right now, my land is in a good position. Even though I have to go run a little bit, it's nowhere near as much as I had to in the other. So with all that said, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you really like the content. Follow me on X, Calciano Daniel 1. I also am on LinkedIn. I have a lot of articles over there. They're all business related. Some take ancient knowledge and try to apply that ancient knowledge to today's business environment. So that's where my biggest expertise is business. So I try to form articles on AI and all these other things. And we can talk about those because AI is a big topic right now. But we can certainly talk about those things during this podcast. But I wanted to mention the LinkedIn and the X account. I will be putting some of these on Rumble. I don't know how well that's going to go, though. But I'll see what I can do on this. But until then, again, I'm gonna say it a third time. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment. His comments feed the algorithm, from what I hear. And I think that's true. So if you're interested in more content like this, that would be the way to do it. And I will be here tomorrow at about the same time as I was for this podcast. Until then, I'll leave you with the outro. Everyone, be safe and be kind to one another.
With every step, a lesson learned. From fire's heat to the fields I've turned. The blade and bow, the forge and flame. I sharpen my skills, I play the game. Each day brings a challenge I must face. I train my hands with careful grace. From alchemy's art to the hunter's way, I'll find the strength to seize the day. I carve my path, I walk the line in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil, I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. From the herbs I find to the iron I mold, each lesson learned is a story told. The stars above, they guide my hand as I hold my craft. I take my stand in the quiet woods, in the mountains chill. I push myself, I shape my will with each new tool and every lore. I'm stronger now than I was before. I carve my path, I walk the line in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil, I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. The road is long, but I won't turn back. The lessons I learned keep me on track. With each new skill, the stronger I grow. In the face of the storm, I let my courage show. I've tasted defeat, I felt the sting, but I rise again with each new spring. For knowledge is power, and wisdom the key. I'm forging my path, I'm breaking free. The skill of survival, the will to thrive in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to